What's up, y'all? It's your girl Amanda, and we are back with another episode of Thompson and Stuff. So, we are in August. Isn't it crazy? So, people have been asking me, what have you been doing? What are you doing? How you spending your days? Well, it's summertime, shy, y'all. I'm enjoying my summer. Okay, every weekend. Oh my God, y'all. Let me tell y'all. For the past 3 weeks, I had something to do. Um, This past weekend, I went to Cheesecake Factory. We'll get into that in a minute. The weekend before that, I went to the House of Blues. And the weekend before that, I went to the casino. Now, okay, I like to go to the casino. Granted, the casino is flashy, it's loud. But what I like about the casino is that despite it has all that stuff going on in there, and I don't like places with a lot going on, yeah, I feel so comfortable at a casino. It's crazy. Like, get your slot, you sit down, and you play. So, the casino I went to, of course, they like have the old school like coin slot machines where you pull the side and if you get three in a row, you win something, but it's digitalized. I like those. Those are cute. But I like the fancy ones with the big touch screens on them, and they make a lot of noise when you win, right? So, ooh, hit the mic. Why did I go to the casino? I celebrated my mother's birthday. She wanted to go to the casino and she wanted to have dinner at the casino. So I don't want to say which specific casino I go to because it's crowded enough. I'm not giving free promo, but I like that it's a restaurant where you can eat, but it's a buffet. Now, when I say the word buffet, you think of places like Golden Corral, Old Country Buffet. Let me take it back for you. Ryan's. We didn't have Ryan's in Chicago, but I traveled to like Fort Wayne when I was a kid. They had Ryan's there. And I think in Mississippi and I think in Wisconsin too, they had Ryan's. So those type of buffets. And I used to like going to those buffets when I was a kid until COVID happened. And I was watching this video and this old dude, he was you know how you go to like Mariano's or like the grocery store and stuff, and you go to the hot food section and you could get like you could create your own salad and you could like put some soup in a bowl. Tell me why I was watching this video on Facebook and it was this old dude, he was drinking off the ladle, like the public ladle in the soup. He was dipping and I was like, never again. No buffets, none of that. So at the casino, you go to it was like mini restaurants and they cook the food in front of you and stuff. Is fresh, really good. And they cook it in front of you and they give it to you. So you don't have to like serve yourself, except when it comes to the desserts, but they keep that wrapped up. I really commend them for that. And I do gamble a little bit. I'm not a big gambler. Like, you won't see me at like the poker table or on like the poker tournaments on ESPN or something. I'm not really into that because my mom was like, you gotta have positive thoughts going into casino so you can win big. Me personally, when I go to the casino, I like to win enough money to like pay my phone bill or something. Just little money. I'm not into big spending and big winnings and stuff. I did win a little bit, like won $160. So again, to pay my phone bill because y'all, did y'all know that T-Mobile is going up $6? And I'm one of those people. I had a grandfather plan because my brother used to work for T-Mobile. My brother used to work for Sprint back when it was black and yellow and it looked like a Wi-Fi signal. And when I graduated college, he told me, when you find a job, I'm gonna put you on the cell phone plan, which I ended up doing. I ended up finding a job and I got my own, like, I paid my own cell phone bill basically, but I was on a family plan. But yeah, they increasing up $6. And the only way I could like be cheap about this if I pay my phone off. And I think I have like maybe 2 more payments left. So once I pay my phone off, the phone I have now, I could like have a cheaper cell phone bill, but I just hope this phone holds on a little longer. So yeah, I went to the casino. That was the first weekend I had something to do. The next weekend, me and April, y'all know April by now, we went to the House of Blues to see this Michael Jackson tribute party. It was really nice. A lot of people came dressed up as Michael. I had my little poor sequence glove that didn't make it through the night that I wore to, if you ever seen my photo on Instagram, I wore it to the Michael Jackson movie because I had ended up waiting to go 2 weeks after, but fortunately it didn't make it. I think I found one of my new favorite restaurants in Chicago. I really enjoyed the food at House of Blues, and what I learned is like the food there is very light. What I had was a burger and fries because I really didn't want anything else on the menu. I mean, of course, they had like shrimp po' boys and salads and stuff. That sounded really good, but that was not, I was in the mood for that. I wanted a burger and fries. I had a burger and fries, a Diet Coke, stuck with me. And then I had dessert too. I had like a half of a brownie sundae, very light, didn't tear up my stomach. I was like, oh, chef's kiss. And I love music. So, of course, I love the House of Blues. So I really enjoyed the food there. I enjoyed the Michael Jackson party too. Um, when I go to like clubs and stuff, sometimes you bump into people and they kind of have like an attitude about it. But at the Michael Jackson party, because of course, you know, Michael Jackson was all about positivity and love and all that stuff. You bump into somebody, it's no big deal. They brush it off, you know, hey, my bad, whatever. But it mostly music was rocking, sounds good. On the stage was like this guy who I could tell was like Hispanic, Puerto Rican or something. He put on a wig, or that was his real hair. I don't know, not judging. But he, you know, danced. He was dressed up like Michael Jackson. And at first I was like, what the heck is this? What did we pay for? But as the time went on during the event, you know, he was getting it, dancing. We were dancing with him. He invited people to dance with him on stage. Now, I was all right with the dancer, the host guy. I had one problem though. So they did play Will You Be There? It was kind of an emotional moment. And you know, the host, he kind of invited everybody to come up and dance to Will You Be There? You know, if you are not a Michael Jackson fan, Will You Be There is kind of like an emotional song. I always thought that would be played at my funeral. Like it's that good. And the Andre Crouch choir was on it. Hello. So yeah, these girls, they probably were younger than me, probably like early to mid 20s. They started twerking to Will You Be There? And my nieces and nephews are, well, I have two older niece and nephew. They're like a couple years younger than me. I know they wouldn't twerk to, well, my niece. I knew my niece won't twerk to Will You Be There? Okay. I could definitely not see that happening. So I guess, you know, she was drunk or turned or something, but I was just disappointed in that. But other than that, it was a really, really good time. I thought it was gonna be like an hour and a half, play these few songs and go home. But the party went on for like 3 hours. It was also a bar. You couldn't sit down unless you were sitting in the balcony, but I was like in the stand-up area. So imagine if you go to like House of Blues to see like a comedy show or something and you're sitting down on the floor, but just imagine that with no chairs or the bar. Just the chairs at the bar, but you couldn't sit in them because I was VIP. So I really enjoyed the House of Blues. And then the next weekend, we went to the Cheesecake Factory. And I love the Cheesecake Factory. It's literally one of my favorite restaurants, right? Because you get this thick textbook-esque menu, and it's like pages of stuff. You get pages of appetizers, pages of entrees, pages of desserts, mostly cheesecakes, because it's called the Cheesecake Factory. And you just go about your day. You order something. So I thought I was gonna go in there and order something different because every time I go to the Cheesecake Factory, I order the orange chicken. Guess what I ended up ordering? The orange chicken. Because I was flipping through the pages and it was like everything just didn't seem appetizing to me except the orange chicken. So we order our food, we get our plates, right? Is it me, and if anybody has been to the Cheesecake Factory recently, is it me, or is the I don't want to say quality. The food was good, but it looked like less. I remember when I would come to the Cheesecake Factory for special occasions or whatever, because Cheesecake Factory is kind of pricey. Kind of pricey, not really. But you could get like the orange chicken and it would fill up the plate. Like I looked at my plate and I saw like spots on the plate that wasn't covered by food. And I'm like, okay, all right, well, food was still good though, just didn't seem like a lot. And then I also ordered the Oreo Dream cheesecake, which is basically Oreo cheesecake with Oreo at the bottom, a big Oreo on the side, a big Oreo in the middle. And yeah, that was dinner. It was really, really good. Love Cheesecake Factory. Also this week, I am going to a sports event. I don't want to say which one yet because I will probably talk about it on the next podcast. I'll tell you about it later. But I'm going to a sports event this weekend, so of course I'm going to be busy this weekend too. So that is what's been going on with me, where I've been. I also do want to send a prayer and a thoughts and hugs and love to whoever has been recently affected by the Southland storms. So here in the Southland of Chicago, it's been raining a lot, and we ended up having a couple tornadoes out here. The couple of the tornadoes didn't end up damaging the area where I live and the area where I'm from. A lot of people did not have lights until like probably last Friday. My grandmother, she didn't have lights. She, had some friends say, I didn't have lights either. And also, I live pretty close to this thing called the quarry. And the quarry is like this really big hole, and the expressway is right over it, right? So, because of the rain and all the, quote unquote natural disasters, the quarry got full of rainwater, and it makes the whole area smell like booty. And what's crazy is I live like 10 minutes from the quarry. Like I live nowhere near it in close proximity. Like it's 10 minutes from me. And because that water is in there, it's stinking up the whole area. And man, I was I was driving down some street about 15 minutes away from the quarry, and I could still smell it. It was really messed up. People did lose their homes in Lansing. Lansing is right next to my hometown. It's a really nice area, very quiet area, but unfortunately, there on the news I saw that people, lost roofs, people's houses got tore up. So, wherever they are, I send my love, I send my thoughts to you all, and may you be rehoused somewhere warm, and I don't want to say inviting, but it's just be rehoused, even if it's temporary, to get yourselves together and rebuild your home. So my thoughts are with you guys. So that's just my personal update. I know y'all like my personal update, seeing what I be up to and stuff, but I don't be up to nothing. I just be chilling. But let's get into these stories. I don't have a lot of stories because obviously it's been kind of a slow couple weeks. Well, not really slow, but like maybe not up to my standards. And if y'all hear clicking, it's my pen. I got these really nice pens from TikTok. It's the erasable pens. I think I'm like on an erasable pen kick right now. I barely use like regular pens. It has to be erasable gel pens, and I love them. It's the short ones, and I thought they would be small, but they are the ones that tip. The tip comes out, but the top is erasable. They're so cute. But anyway, shout out to Alexi Janulius. So if y'all don't know who Alexi Janulius is, I live in Illinois, right? And of course, oh, Illinois corrupt, my taxes, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. I like living in Illinois. I mean, of course, I got to pay to live here, but I really wouldn't live anywhere else. Shout out to Alexi Janulius for two reasons. One, he just signed, well, well, not him, but our governor, J.B. Pritzker, he just signed a law for us to kind of like, sorry, I hit the mic. For us to like kind of defend ourselves to our insurance companies, our car insurance companies. So say I have Progressive. So say like, oh, Progressive, you're charging me $1 million to insure my Ford Pinto. I don't know. So I could call. I get a letter from Progressive. I see that, oh, my monthly bill is $1 million. I could call Progressive and be like, hey, this is too much, and we could basically kind of work that out. I can't believe that has to be a law, but it's a great law because it kind of brings some financial relief to people. So Alexi Janulius is our Secretary of State, and y'all, let me tell you something about our Secretary of State, okay? Alexi Janulius is fine. He is a fine Greek man, okay? He is so fine. He used to play basketball, I think somewhere overseas, and he got like a mean sneaker collection because he be outside with his like Air Jordans, and so he is so fine. But um, but he's done a lot as Secretary of State. So, and to me, because I'm kind of lazy, right? And back in the day where you had to like renew your license, renew your registration or whatever, you would have to go to the DMV for that. I hate going to the DMV. Y'all know this. I cannot stand going to the DMV. I went to the DMV during COVID, and that was like the worst experience ever. So when Alexi Janulius came into office for Secretary of State to do that, he introduced the law for us to be able to renew our stuff online. And I've renewed my license online twice, and it's so simple. You do everything, and then you could pay online, and you just wait for your license to come in the mail. Super simple. Thank you, Alexi Janulius. You've made it so easy for me. Now, Alexi Janulius is going to run for mayor of Chicago. Now, I don't live in Chicago. I live in the outskirts. I live at where I live. I have my own mayor. I have all my own, who I vote for or don't vote for or whatever. But I do see really Alexi winning this for Chicago. Not because, oh, I think he's so fine. That that's a part of it. But Alexi really has done things for Illinois, and I know he could do things for Chicago. And he also lives in Chicago, which I think is a requirement to be a mayor of Chicago. So the current mayor of Chicago, Johnson, I forgot his first name. I think it's Andre or something. Andrew, whatever. He's not from Chicago. He's from Elgin, which is right outside of Chicago. You gotta be from Chicago to run Chicago. And I think Alexi is just perfect for it because he's done stuff for us as Illinoisans for Secretary of State for driving and stuff. So he should really do something for being the mayor of Chicago. And you know what? I think Alexi Janulius, he's gonna probably crack down on those like stupid, um, like those, we call them red light cameras, where if you like run a red light, they take a picture of you, you got to pay like $150. I hope he cracks down on those because what I hear on TV is like they have a lot of those in like poor neighborhoods, and they kind of make money off like the poor people when they run the red lights. So I hope he really cracks down on that. And I'm gonna move on from that because again, Chicago politics, they don't like me when I talk about that. Congratulations to Pinky Cole from Real Housewives of Atlanta. It was announced that she is pregnant. We kind of knew this, even though I do send my congratulations, we kind of knew this, and it's all thanks to Claudia Jordan. To me, I was kind of, and I love Claudia Jordan. She's like, I want to be like Claudia Jordan when I grow up. Claudia, she's beautiful. She's not married. She doesn't have kids. You know, I, if life doesn't go the way I want it to, I would probably end up like Claudia. Um, Career driven, drives a nice car, have a nice house, blah, blah, blah. But the thing I didn't like about it, and I was disappointed in Claudia, was like, she announced like somebody's on the couch, somebody sitting on the couch is pregnant. Like, even though she said somebody and she kept it a mystery, like people in the media was like trying to figure it out. And it wasn't hard because a lot of the cast is like, it was, what's that game? Uh Process of elimination, because a lot of the women are in their 50s or perimenopausal. Drew's divorced. Like, well, how would that happen? So, of course, they pointed our fingers to Pinky, but Pinky didn't really say anything until now, and it's her fourth child. So, of course, I would get why she didn't say anything and let her announce her pregnancy on her own, Claudia. You didn't have to sit up there and say, oh, somebody's pregnant and now everybody's in an uproar trying to figure out who it is. But congratulations to Pinky. I like Pinky. Like, she made me laugh. I think Pinky would be that type of friend. Like, you be at the friend's house having wine and drinking and cooking, and Pinky's telling just a hilarious story. She seems like very fun to be around. But congratulations to her. I'm very happy, and I hope she gets renewed because she's brought the jokes. Basically, she brought the jokes. Did anybody see the game in YG versus? Y'all know I love my West Coast. I would not miss this for the world. Okay? But let me tell you something. YG is my college, maybe my high school and my college and my career years. Game is like my 6th grade to high school years. And they basically had my whole workout playlist on. They played the whole workout playlist on there. I really enjoyed that. And they said that he couldn't perform, YG couldn't perform F Donald Trump. I don't see why not. We all feeling it right now. We all want to sing. I play it in my car all the time. Ain't nobody do nothing to me. And who do I think won the verses is honestly, I think YG won the verses. But let me tell y'all something. I got good taste in men, okay? Because let me tell y'all, Jason Terrell Taylor has been one of my rap crushes since I was like, since puberty. No, I shouldn't say that. Maybe since I was 15. Like, I've always had a crush on him. Oh my God, he's so fine. And then he come out and he had the curly hair and he was in the shades and all that stuff. He looks so good. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed the verses. I thought that was genius. I have another bone to pick with Swizz and Timberland though. So we have Game and YG versus. Where is the DJ Battlecat DJ Quick versus? We need that because yeah, Game and YG, they're rappers. No, we need producers. Like, y'all know how y'all had Babyface and Teddy Riley? And yeah, Babyface is a singer, Teddy Riley's a rapper, but they're mostly known for their productions, right? So DJ Battlecat is kind of a rapper. He hasn't really rapped since Banging on Wax, and we all know DJ Quick is a rapper. But their production kind of, in my opinion, exceeds their rapping, if you will. So we definitely need to get on that. I've read like a flyer somewhere that Ray J was trying to go against Tevin Campbell. I knew that was fake. Like, why would Ray J? Tevin Campbell came out before Ray J, so that's kind of it doesn't make sense, you know. Moving on from that, rest in peace to no one's dead. Like, calm down, y'all. Rest in peace to the Nissan Altima. Now, y'all know I've been out of the car business for years, but I keep my ear to the streets. And they saying that the CNA mobile, the baby mama mobile, is gone. Rest in peace, Nissan Altima. Y'all know I talk about my grandmother's 1999 Nissan Altima, kind of a gray metallic color. Been through hell and back. 3 student drivers. My uncle, when he come to town, he liked to drive all over the city. About a couple trips to Mississippi, all up and through neighborhoods for garage sales. That was a good car. That was a really good car. And it just died. And it sat in my grandmother's garage for a year or so, dead. But it was a good car even in like the 2000s. My auntie had one. And I think that 2006 was like the first year I saw cars with like push to start, and she had like push to start. So all she had to carry around was her key fob. Good car. She always took care of it too. It was a beautiful car, black. Um, it didn't have like the interface screens. I don't think those came until later because she had a '06, but really nice car. They always been really good cars, but I think Nissan is just pushing towards like another um like I think they're pushing towards trucks more than SUVs. I used to work for Nissan a long time ago, and I think they were probably going towards EV. They had the Leaf. The Leaf is a nice, cute car, And then they had this other one. I was telling my brother about this. I think it's called the Aria. They weren't sold a lot though, but they were kind of new. I don't know if they still exist. I have to look it up. They had that as well. Nice cars. But yeah, the Nissan Altima, all of like the legendary cars are being discontinued. We started with the Camaros. We started with the Impalas for Chevrolet, of course. We started with the Malibus. Malibus are being discontinued after 2025. Then you go to Nissan, they stopped the Maximas. Now they got the Altimas. I don't know what the other ones are because I can't say Armadas because I actually saw a brand new Armada at Starbucks. So I think they're still going good. Um, I have to do my research. But yeah, rest in peace to the Nissan Altima. The best car Nissan has ever had. I like Maximas, but Altimas I've always had like a special bond with. Um, Stevie Wonder is releasing new music in 2027, and honestly, I can't wait, but I'm kind of nervous because I can't wait because the last new Stevie Wonder song I remember is What the Fuss, which came out like maybe 22 years ago. And I still love that song. Prince played guitar on it. In Vogue sang background vocals. It's a good song. But I just hope this new music receives to everybody. You know, music today I'm not too crazy for. I always say music sounds like banging aluminum pans and nonsense. Some new music. I kind of like some new artists, but not really. And, obviously Stevie might go and work with like the new artists and stuff. And sometimes the new artists make banging aluminum pan music and nonsense. But again, Stevie Wonder is like a freaking genius. Like he's made genius albums. It's Hotter Than July. Um, what else? Just a lot. I can't even think because I love Stevie Wonder so much. Um, but I'm excited because I want to hear like this new era of Stevie. I love Stevie Wonder. I grew up Stevie Wonder. My grandmother grew up listening to Stevie Wonder. My mother grew up listening to Stevie Wonder. I grew up to Stevie Wonder. And if God blesses me with children, they gonna grow up with Stevie Wonder. So Stevie's just very multi-generational around here, if you can't tell. Um, Xbox is testing ads in games, and I don't think that will work. Um, People today are a little intense. And what I mean by that is, say I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 5, right? And I am playing the mission where you tie the rope or whatever on the stance of the guy who Michael's wife is cheating with, and you pull his house down. That mission at the beginning of the game. All right, so we playing that mission. The house is about to go down. Like they're about to show the house being pulled down. And all of a sudden, an ad for Chewy.com comes on. Like it's like that could really make somebody mad. It's not gonna work because people are gonna be going out replacing like new Xbox controllers and stuff because their attitude is hot. Because you have to show like an ad for Chewy.com or DoorDash or something. We don't like that. And also, how is that gonna work if somebody gives somebody like the physical disc, like the video game, you buy like the physical game from GameStop or something? How are you gonna incorporate the ads into that? I don't think they thought that far. Um, so I hope they kind of get that idea out of their mind because it's not gonna work. LeBron James, this is like kind of one of the biggest stories that everybody's talking about. So I stated in the last podcast that LeBron James was going to leave the Lakers, right? He said he was still gonna play, but he was leaving the Lakers. I said, LeBron, are you sure that's what you want to do? You are almost 45 years old. Are you sure? So, a couple more weeks just, floated by. And it's revealed that LeBron James will go to Philly. I didn't get mad. I didn't ask why. I should have, but I didn't. And so he goes to Philly and he gets a 2-year, $8 million contract. I think that's an indicator that LeBron is at the end of his career. Like, this will be his last team. I wouldn't be surprised if he, decided to retire as a 76er. 2 year, 8 millions, that's 4 million a year. Y'all got to keep in mind, LeBron James used to make 50, 60, 70, $100 million when he was with the Heat, the Lakers, and the Cavaliers. Yeah, he's at the end of it. But my hope for LeBron James being in Philly is that he brings the same amount of revenue and popularity to Philly that Allen Iverson did. Y'all got to keep in mind, Allen Iverson played for the 76ers from the time he was drafted in 1996 to 2006, 2007, so 11, 10, 11 years. And I know people wanted to go see Allen Iverson. They wanted to go see the answer. They wanted to go to the 76er game. So I just hope, people line up to see LeBron James in his debut with Philadelphia, put Philadelphia on the map. Of course, we know that Philadelphia is known as the city of brotherly love, right? But I just hope he brings that. And I would kind of see how LeBron would play. And if he doesn't play that great, because obviously because of age, we just know it's the end for LeBron in Philadelphia. And he could go back to Los Angeles. He could go back to LA and do whatever he wanted. I also heard he was going to live in New York and fly a helicopter to Philadelphia every day. I think Philadelphia is a nice place to live. Like, have you seen Allen Iverson's house in the suburbs? That was a really nice house. Like, there's nice suburbs to live in Philadelphia. He doesn't have to do all that. I mean, of course, I understand he might like New York, but no, I'm sure Philadelphia got like really nice suburbs for him to live in. Moving on from that, Tony Romo got arrested for OWI. I know this is kind of a Wisconsin thing, because I don't think they say DUI in Wisconsin. And there was videos of him saying he was going to visit his grandparents' house and stuff. You know what the consequence is not even the legal consequence. The real consequence, or maybe one of the real consequences, is that he got suspended by CBS. I forgot, he is, but well, he's taking a break from it now. He was an analyst for CBS, and y'all know CBS don't play. Like, when it comes to scandal and stuff, they'll drop you like a bad habit. CBS is kind of conservative, if you will. Like, I knew CBS was like high and mighty, and this is before like Hulu and stuff, like before like the merger with Paramount Plus. So back in like maybe 2015, 2016, probably up to like 2023, if you wanted to stream something from CBS and you didn't have like TV or cable or whatever, you had to get the CBS app, like the CBS standalone app. Like, they had their own thing from the beginning. Like, they real up there. So with Tony Romo doing this, yeah, they don't play. They don't play. And Jessica Simpson kind of warned us about Tony Romo in her book. I mean, not warned us, but she kind of told us how of a hot mess he is. Like, this dude used to play for the Cowboys. I know he made a lot of money because Jerry Jones don't play when it comes to pay. Just saying. But Jessica said, he was kind of, in my words, ghetto, because he used to use trash bags as curtains. I said, Lord, if that ain't the most ghetto thing I've ever heard, and this man made millions. I used to watch Tony Romo on TV. Like, he played for his money, okay? Yeah, that's real ghetto. And yeah, he's I ain't trying to kick the man down, but Tony Romo should have known, like, CBS do not play at all when it comes to their brand and who represents them and stuff. So you better get it together, Tony. And why was he in Milwaukee anyway? Like, Tony, he lives in Texas or something. I don't know. What was he doing there? Instead of visiting his grandparents, but I know his grandparents don't live in no Milwaukee. I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know. But anyway, um, again, y'all, with Diddy being in jail, I thought the circus would be over, but I guess not. I guess we watching him like a hawk now. Diddy got into a fight in jail and they put him in solitary confinement. That's not the part I'm mad about. Couple days later, maybe a week or so, couple days, I don't know. It comes out that Diddy's jail release date gets moved. Y'all, guess what his new release date is? February 20th, 2028. Y'all do know that's my birthday, right? So he's getting out on my 35th birthday. What? I Why are y'all putting him back into the wild on a very important birthday of mine? Y'all are so selfish. But I bet y'all next week they probably gonna move it again to like March. Because they always move in the stupid day. I don't know why. He keeps getting into um fights. They keep, confiscating stuff they found at his house. They need to like not the 20th. Put it on the 19th or the 21st, but not the 20th. Please. Please. Um the Tuskegee University bonnet do rag rule. Um, I'm gonna say this. So I'm not perfect. I wear bonnets sometimes, but with me, I do wear my bonnet, but I wear like a hat. I do it in the winter time, so I like wear a scully hat with my over my bonnet, so nobody knows I'm wearing it. I love a man in a do rag, like it drives me crazy. But in this situation, I kind of agree with Tuskegee. Because Tuskegee is an HBCU, it has such high representation. Like it's Tuskegee University, it's a legendary HBCU school. If a school like Georgia Tech enforced a rule like that, I would have been like, okay, well, what the heck? You're just like a public university. But Tuskegee University, I think, should allow that rule because of the history, the rich in history, um, the alumni, like, the mark it's made in Black history. Like, it definitely should have that rule. And that's what I say about it. Um, Cam Newton and Ryan Clark are fired from ESPN. I hate that this has happened to them, but it's another showing that ESPN is kind of falling apart. Nobody's really watching ESPN anymore. ESPN sucks. Like ESPN used to be so fun when I was a kid. Stuart Scott, they used to have hip hop. They used to like have a lot of fun on ESPN, but I bet there's nothing over there but a bunch of stiff wigs and Republican activity going on. They also ended the Make-A-Wish partnership, which I hate to hear because I remember I used to watch SportsCenter and they would like share stories about Make-A-Wish kids and how their like wish got, came true and all that stuff. And they sat down and interviewed the kid and the family and stuff. I can't believe they're ending that. Like ESPN is just going down the drain. Because I think it started when everybody stopped watching ESPN and went to FS1. And then, they brought NBA on TNT over to, I guess it's now called NBA on ESPN. And I think those guys had way more fun on TNT than they did on ESPN, even though I don't really watch. But when I was younger, I used to watch them on TNT and they used to cut up. I know you can't cut up like they did on TNT on ESPN. So, um, they better scramble and do something fast or they're gonna really, really lose a lot more viewers. Lastly, two more stories. Psychoparesis, basically is the lettuce that's giving everybody explosive diarrhea. It has two deaths in Michigan, and I completely see how that can happen. Y'all know back in like the 1800s, people used to die from diarrhea because you would secrete so much it would make you weak and sometimes it'll kill you, but because of bad fruits and vegetables, lettuce and stuff, and the FDA and all that stuff not doing their job, and Donald Trump cutting jobs for us to protect us from that, that's what kind of started the whole thing, and that's how that happened. So wash your lettuce. Don't eat lettuce. I've been avoiding lettuce and I'm nervous because it's like, if we can't eat that, what do we eat? Like, I don't understand. And I gotta eat healthy because I have diabetes. What am I supposed to eat with this new, you know, bug floating around here and now killing people? Like, what am I supposed to do? So lastly, congratulations to Jafar Jackson actually, I always thought, with Michael, he would be like typecasted as Michael Jackson. Like I feared that for him, but he actually is going to be in a new movie with Will Smith, which makes me nervous but makes me excited because these past few years, like Will Smith put out a movie. They're not the best. I mean, the best Will Smith movie I've seen in probably the last 5 years is Bad Boys, when they did like the fourth one. That one was good. I really enjoyed that. But all the other ones that came out, eh, not that great. That especially that one that came out on Netflix with him and how humans and aliens were integrated in everyday life in LA. That didn't make no sense to me. So that makes me nervous. But I hope Will Smith doesn't fail Jafar, if y'all know what I mean. But that is another episode of Mandy's Entertainment Reviews. I'm tired. I'm about to go to bed, so I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.